Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's continue from here on. Actually got an important call, because of that thing I had to just simply end the live, but now onwards I can just simply continue from here on. So without any further delay, let's keep learning, as simple as that. So this much I've done over here, and if I change the type, I think that should be changing too. So far the type has been a string. If I make it int, it will be automatically passed if I'm not wrong. So right now if I send the request from here, this time I'm getting it as an integer. So yeah, transform like a parsing automatically gets done here. That's a good thing. By the way, apart from this particular thing, I will be learning more things right now. So okay, this much is done. Just a minute, let me get some setting stuff done. Analytics, and after that items ID is here. If item ID is gonna be item ID dot this. What am I doing over here? Query parameters type conversion. You can also declare bool types and they will be converted. I can declare bool types and they will be converted. So items, item ID, item is equal to this, string is gonna be this, short is gonna be bool, and that's gonna be false. That's gonna be false, and then I can say item is gonna be item and item ID, just like this. And then if this exists, then item dot update q is gonna be q. That's fine. If not short, in that case item dot update description. This is an amazing item that has a long description, and return item. That's actually a good example if I'm not wrong. So let's try to write it on my own this time. Q and short are gonna be there, and I will be just simply trying to just add the things from my own side. So without any further delay, let's make it quick. So far I got this only. I have my query parameters, and I'm gonna be having my short over here, and the short is gonna be a bool first of all, and that's gonna be false. Like by default it will not be short. And after that, if not only that, item is gonna be what? Item is gonna be what? Item is going to be item ID. Excuse me, just suffering a bit. Item ID, and that's gonna be what? Item ID, as simple as that. Item ID. Not only that, if the query actually exists, in that case what I'll be saying that the item ID that I have, so item dot update, and I will be adding a new one over here. The new one is gonna be the query. Query is gonna be what? Query is gonna be, it's not like that. Query is actually going to be the query that I'm actually getting from here. Not only that, if I actually have, if not a description, not short, if that is not short, in that case what will I be doing? In that case I will be just adding one more things, item dot update, and then it's gonna be a description TION. That's gonna be long enough, just like this. Just wanna try it out, and at the end of the day I will be just simply returning the item from here. This should be fine, and once this thing is done, then I will actually be sending this from here. Send it. I'm getting description not long enough with this, because that is, and if I make it and if short is gonna be true, in that case I will not be getting that. So right, I'm just simply getting this much. By the way, I can make it even like this, but that's not gonna be right. But that's actually gonna be right, so never mind. So this is how I can just simply go ahead with the things. These are the query parameters that I'm actually providing from here on. So far I've learned this much. Let's continue from here on, and then in this case, if you go to short 1 or go to short 2 or this or short on or this, yes, or any case variation, uppercase first letter in uppercase etc., your function will see the parameter short with a bool value of true, that is right, otherwise as false. So if those values there's any value, just had a pain over here. That's been crazy, but okay, let's continue from here on. So if there's any value, that will be converted to bool, mainly because I'm already mentioning that the type of short is gonna be a bool over here, and by default I'm providing it the false value. It's as simple as that. So this is the something that I've learned over here. After that, again, this is all about this is going to be all about query parameters. So query parameters and all. Oh hi, how are you? Good to see you, bro. Here, how's it going? कैसे हो आप? I mean, yeah, how are you? How are you doing? I spoke in both the languages, and what else? I can speak in Bengali too. Never mind, let's continue. Let me know. I would love to know that. Multiple path and query parameters. You can declare multiple path parameters and query parameters at the same time. Fast API knows which is which, and you don't have to declare them in any specific order. So user ID, items, item ID. Okay, that's fine. So I'm declaring multiple paths over here. So these are gonna be multiple path parameter. That is right. So if I say read the user item, so user ID integer, item ID string, and then query, and then this, and sir, haven't you remember me? Mohit, you are Mohit from Riva. Are you the one? I mean, first of all, let me know. Like having a look at the username, it's hard. So could you tell me your name directly? User ID int item. Yes, sir. Thank you. Oh, so you are Mohit. Got that. Oh, glad to see you, bro. Here. Like, how are you doing? How's the Josh and all? It's a long time, but yeah, glad to see you here. Having said that, read user, I'm just getting all of them over here. Return, and yeah, this is how it can actually be done. So that's fine. You can actually have multiple path parameters over here and get the things done. Required query parameters. When you declare a default value for non-path parameters, for now we have only seen query parameters when it is not required. If you don't want to add a specific value but just make it optional, set the default value as null. But when you want to make a query parameter required, you can just not declare any default value. So if we are not declaring any default value, that query parameter actually gets required and all. Interesting. Query parameter, yeah, that is required if I don't set anything by default. So this is the item ID that I'm getting, and this needy is the string. This is where it is actually it is going to be required, because I haven't given it any default value over here. Let's try the same thing over here as well. First of all, item ID is gonna be here, and what else? Apart from item ID, I have user ID. So let's have both the things over here. Hi sir, wow, glad to know that, mister. I hope you are doing a great job on your side and learning a lot and all. By the way, apart from this item ID, I will be having my user ID as well. So let's have the user ID first of all. So user ID is gonna be here. Just after that, even before that, users, are you on Linux OS? Yeah, kind of. I have switched to this one. Earlier I was using Windows, and then because this Linux Ubuntu is actually good for development and all, so that is why I just thought of switching it. And I'm getting this particular layout mainly because I'm using lots of extensions. So yeah, I customized my Linux the way I wanted it to be. But yeah, it does provide lots of features. /items /item ID. So ultimately I'm getting two things over here. So I will be getting my item ID, I will be getting my user ID. So user ID is gonna be again integer over here, just like this. So I have my user ID, I'm gonna be getting my item ID. Not only that, I will be getting the query, and the query is by default, that is none. Short is gonna be false. Let's do one thing. The short will be required. So if I do not provide short over here, that will be problematic right now. What is the problem with this? Okay. No default argument follows argument. Okay, that's fine. Let's have it over here. Sir, I want to know that what you are making. Nothing. I'm just learning about fast API. So ultimately building a backend using Python. So far I've been building backends using JavaScript and TypeScript. Ultimately JavaScript and Node.js. And right now I wanted to do the same thing using Python. So just recently I learned Python. So the same thing I'm trying to do using Python over here, not JavaScript. It's just as simple as that. So kind of learning is going on to keep it in simple words. By the way, query is gonna be here and none. Let's simply remove this particular thing. So at the end of the day, I will require query anyhow. The query can be none. No, it cannot be none. It is on Python. Yeah, definitely it is. I'm using Python over here to get it done. The backend can be made using lots of things. The backend can actually be made using Java, Python, TypeScript, JavaScript and all. But I'm using mainly Python over here. And after that I have the query. I will have to provide the query anyway. If I don't provide, I will get the error. So let's even remove this short false. This is going to be required over here, so short is gonna be here. That's fine. And that is it. Remaining things are fine. I'm providing two of them over here. So query is existing and item is gonna be here. Not only that, apart from this item ID, I will be having the user ID as well. So user ID is gonna be just like this, and user ID just like this. So ultimately I'm gonna be having both the things, then I will be returning. Let's simply make a request from here. So ultimately first of all, users/1 slash items, query is gonna be this and this. Simply send a request. I'm getting user ID 1, item ID 1, query is gonna be this one. Interesting. Let's make it let's even remove it from here and see how it works and all. So right now I'm getting description long enough and all, and if I actually do not provide the query here, then I will be getting the error for sure. So if I just simply send this much, getting that query is missing and all, so field is required. That is right. So pretty simple. I can even mention that. Let's give it some default value over here, or I can just mention the same thing over here. If you don't give any default value to query parameters, that's gonna be required, otherwise that will be optional. As simple as that. So this particular thing is done, and that's the same thing I'm actually doing over here. And once this thing is done, I can actually go ahead and then required query parameters. So that's fine. When you declare a default value for non-path parameters, for now we have only seen. Okay, that's fine. I've gone through it. Then items foo over here missing. This is the one that I will be getting. That's fine. As needed is required parameter, you would need to set the URL over here. That's right. And of course you can define some parameters as required, and some as having default values, and some entirely optional. That's right. So some can be required, some can have the default values, and some can be entirely optional and all. And after that I have this item over here, needy. By the way, item is gonna be string, needy is gonna be str, skip is gonna be integer, and this by the way, skip will mainly be used for skipping the things and all. Right. So ultimately over here, why not use this particular thing over here? So needy, skip, limit, and this much. So if I actually use that, then I will have to change many things. Return item is gonna be this much. Ultimately at the end of the day, I will be returning the item and all. That's fine, not really need to worry about this. In this case there are three parameters. Need is required, skip is int with the default value 0, limit is optional. So ultimately what we are saying, that limit is gonna be integer or none, and by default if I'm setting something to none, that means that is optional. And skip is gonna be kind of I am giving it the default value, and need is gonna be required over here. That's fine. I can just simply paste it actually over here, and that's gonna be actually a better job to do. So let's do it just like this, and pretty much good stuff. I mean, that's great. What is the next thing that I can do? Done. Let's learn about request body, how you can actually get the body from the client side and all. So when you need to send data from the client side, it's let's say a browser to your API, you send it as a request body. A request body is the data sent by the client to your API. A response body is the data that API sends to the client. Your API almost always has to send a response body. Sir, is you off the super chat? Do not send the super chats, man. Come on. first of all, the super chats are off. You cannot send that, and don't even try that, otherwise you will lose your money. So don't do that. Your API almost always has to send a response body, but clients don't necessarily. Your API always sends a response body, but clients don't necessarily need to send request bodies all the time. Sometimes they only request a path, maybe with some query parameters, but don't send a body. To declare a request body, you use Pydantic models with all their power and benefits. To declare a request body, you use Pydantic models with all their powers and all. Okay. To send the data, you should use one of just. I want to give you once only. Give you a once only. Don't do that, man. I mean, I appreciate that. I appreciate your thinking. Thanks a lot for that. Even that is enough. You just thought of giving me a super chat. That's enough. I mean, than actually giving that. So don't worry about that. That's more than enough for me. The thinking behind that. Don't worry about it. As ultimately, as for that particular feature, that's not possible for me because I have to allow that, and with this particular setup I don't even think that's gonna be possible. So don't worry, just yeah, keep up the good work. That's the only thing I want from your side. So yeah, keep it up. What is wrong with the network right now? This internet is crazy, but I hope I will be able to fix it. Okay. Alrighty, this seems to be better right now. I hope it will be like this only. Alrighty, I can continue from here on. So to send data, you should use one of post, the more common put or delete or patch. Sending a body with the get request has an undefined behavior in the specifications. Nevertheless, it is supported by Fast API only for very complex and extreme use cases. Okay. Well, yeah, that would be great, Mohit. Okay. As it is discouraged, the interactive docs with Swagger UI won't show the documentation for the body when using Get. As it is discouraged, the interactive docs or Swagger UI won't show the documentation for the body when using Get. The proxies in the middle might not support it. That's fine. Import Pydantic base model. So first you need to import a base model from Pydantic. That's fine. First of all, as for this thing, I have items, and not only items, I will have the users as well. So slash user slash just here user ID is gonna be here. So ultimately I'm gonna be having many of them, and user ID. So user ID is gonna be actually an integer. It will automatically be converted just like that. Once I have the user ID, I will be sending here. So user ID will actually be user ID and just a comma. So this is how I will be just simply going through the things. This is actually gonna be a query parameter. Let's copy this thing from here. Pylance has detected type annotation code recommended. Okay, yes, do that. Pylance. Control Shift F. That's fine. Copy it from here. What are you learning? Nothing. Fast API using Python. So far I've been building the backends in JavaScript. So I just thought of learning Fast API as well. It's easy to understand, so why not? So let's paste it over here. This particular thing is done, and let's continue from here on. And the next thing, can you explain in brief, please? This is just simple Fast API. If you actually, I'm just simply going through the documentation right now. So the way you have Node.js in Express, so you have Express package for creating the backend in JavaScript. The same way there is something called Fast API. Using this, you can actually create a proper server, a proper backend server, and that's it. So the same thing is actually happening. The only difference is that when you are using JavaScript at that time, you are using Node.js and Express for creating a backend, and over here I'm using Fast API for creating a backend. And overall, the basic thing is gonna be same. You will be getting you will be getting everything. You will be getting the body, path, query parameters, and all things are exactly the same. I hope you got that. By the way, import Pydantic's base model. First, you need to import base model from Pydantic. Okay, that's fine. So base model is gonna be here. Class item base model. And these are the items I will be getting. That is fine. So item string, description is gonna be string, none, price is gonna be float, tax is gonna be this. Fast API. Once this is done, then item is gonna be, wow, I mean, just wow. Getting a body in Python is crazy. Ultimately, the function that you describe here, inside that function you can get the path parameters, you can get the query parameters, you can get the body itself. The thing is that once I mean, if you wanna get the body, you will have to just create a class, and that's it. It'll do the job. So that's amazing. I'm gonna be getting name, and I'm gonna be getting two things. I will be getting email, and I will be getting password. Two things, and then I have to just simply get it over here. So let's try it over here. What I want that I want to get the body, right? In order to get the body, I hope I have users section over here. I do have user section over here, so I can just delete the previous code because that is not needed. So enum not needed right now. Delete it all. And why not delete all these things? I mean, that is not required. So right now I will be getting the data, so that's actually gonna be a post request. So @post @app.post, and inside this I'm gonna be getting the data. So /users, and first of all I will even be getting the user ID. Not required, users is gonna be enough. And just after that, once this thing is done, def, or let's make it async, and def get get a user, or get user data. That should be fine. Get user data, and I will be getting the user data over here. So ultimately I can say user is gonna be equals to, I will have to create the type, never mind. And once this thing is done, come on yaar, I will be returning the information that I actually got from the user side. So I will get the username, and ultimately I can say like this: name is gonna be user.name, and email, come on, email and password. I want to give you a suggestion that put the link on the other social media accounts. A link of what? A link of this YouTube and all? Could you clarify that a bit? Email and password is actually going to be equals to the password that I will be getting. So it will be like user.password, and that's it. One more thing, I would like to create a class over here. So the class is actually going to be like class user, and it will be extending base class. Base class will actually be coming from Pydantic. I don't even think that I have that. So from Pydantic I have that. Import base class, base class. It turns out that I don't even have Pydantic. Do I have the Pydantic over here? I don't have Pydantic. I will have to install it. Control-Shift-E. Let's go to VENV inside lib. Do I have Pydantic over here? Pydantic stands PPPPP. Yeah, I do have Pydantic. If I actually have the Pydantic, then why am I unable to get the base class? Let's try that thing out. Base class. Okay, that is base model, not base class. Sorry for that. That is actually base model. And once I got that, I should be able to extend it. So base model is gonna be here. Base model. That's it. Once I have that, then I will be telling over here everything like what I want. I want my email. Email is gonna be type of string, and I want my password. Password is gonna be type of string. Just that, like this. And on top of this, I can just check even more things. So if I go through my notes right now, long time ago, I learned about Pydantic. So this is the Pydantic section where I actually learned it. In here I learned about field validation. So normally I had the fields and all, so I was using a base model in field, and using field, what I was doing that using field, first of all string, then field, and I'm just simply able to check minimum length, max length, description, and employees and all. Okay, it's just gonna be like this. So first of all, let me make it required as well using field, and I will be getting it from the Pydantic only. So why not do it right now? So what I want over here, that from here I will be getting one more thing. I will be getting FIELD field, and this is mainly for validation purpose. So I will be getting the email, and after that dot gonna be equals to field F IELD field, and inside this, first of all, dot 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 means it's going to be required, and then what let's make it only this much. The email is going to be required. As for the password, FIELD field, just like this. First of all, password will actually be required, and once I got the password, minimum length is gonna be 6, max length depends, you can just keep anything. By the way, you can just have the name and all, so let's even have that. I think that's what I can mention over here. Let's go through my notes. First of all, let's have a quick revision of it. First, a quick revision of Pydantic. So Pydantic intro is just like this, that you can create a classes, and those classes are mainly going to be used for validation purpose, the validation of the data and all, and you can just validate the data user and you will give the data and it will be validated. That's fine. Just after that, I have Pydantic plus typing. It just simply gives me more typing gives me more complex data type and all. That's it. Then I have something called field validation. Inside this field, not field validation, field only, and using field I can just provide more validation, and even I can provide description in examples over here. That is just for example purpose. And department is gonna be optional if I wanna make something optional, and by default I gonna give it some value and all. So yeah, I mean, so many things are here. It turns like I have to just learn it on the go. By the way, I did learn it once. If it is greater than this, less than this, I mean, this is gonna be this, so why not? So let's do it. I will be having two things. That's gonna be description and example. And over here, minimum length is this, and description is gonna be description is gonna be password field, FIELD password field, and example is gonna be what? Example is gonna be password 123. This is just the example, and the same thing I will be doing over here. Description, again, these things are completely optional. If you wanna have them, you can have them. If you don't wanna have them, don't wanna have them. But I want to practice Pydantic as well. I want to practice how to validate the things and all, and that is why I'm having them knowingly over here. Email, FIELD field, and example is gonna be example@gmail.com, just like this. So this much is done. I will be having comma over here, so I don't think so. What is the issue over here? The issue is that you should be having commas, and the same thing is gonna be happening over here. Just have comma, not dot, just a comma, and this is how it's gonna be done. So far I have done this much. That's fine, and after that I can just use the type over here, so it's gonna be just user and should just simply work fine. I hope I'm not missing anything. So if I go here, name string and all, that is fine, and just after that nothing else. I'm not really missing anything. Let's try to just send the data. So the route be users, and over here I'm gonna be sending the email and password. So from here the route is gonna be users only. In the body section, in the which format? Text format. Inside text format, that's actually gonna be JSON. Don't I have? Okay, this is the JSON format that I have. Inside this I will be sending my email, and email is gonna be VIPENDR@gmail.com, and password is gonna be password 123. Simply send it and see the result. Detail method not allowed. Let's make it post method over here. Send it again, and guess what? I'm getting my result. Email is gonna be this, and password is gonna be this. That means it is actually working. One thing, if I make the password smaller, like only this much, I will be getting an error. It is simply saying that string is too short. String should have at least 6 characters. Ultimately, why it is telling me that? Because I have defined over here that minimum length of the password is gonna be 6, and that is why it is simply telling that your password length is not as long as it should be. So let's make it 6 at least. So password 123, just like this. And even I can say that I'm gonna be validating whether the email that I'm getting, that is actually an email or not. So even I have to check that thing. I can use regex for that, but let's see how it's gonna be done. So if I go through here, go through this right now, salary department, that's fine. I can create a base model over here. Inside this base model I have field. I can use regex and regex is going to be used for email. So this is the regex for email. I can even copy it. Again, how you can get the email like a regex? You can get the regex from regex. I hope there is a website called regex or something. Regex 123. I think this is the one. Not this one. Not this one. There was a website, but never mind. I have to get a regex for what? I have to get, leave it. A regex, yeah, this is the one. From here you can get the regex for email. So you can go to community patterns. Inside this you can actually search email, and you can directly get it from the ChatGPT as well, completely up to you. But from here you will be getting the professional ones, right? So email address validation with good ratings. So this has the highest rating, this one. And once it is here, and this is the code that you are getting for regex. So should be fine. I should be able to copy this thing from here. Once this is actually copied, then I'm gonna be pasting, as simple as that. I hope it's gonna work. So just inside this I will be using regex. What is the right way to write the regex as well? Regex are gonna be written just like this, and if that is the email, then that should be fine. Why am I getting the error? Let's see. So I have email, I am gonna be having regex over here. Regex are gonna be equals to this, and then I'm gonna be having the value of the regex that I actually got. Again, this is a really big validation. I mean, if you really want to make sure you are only getting regex, then you can use this particular validation. And what is wrong right now? I'm not providing comma at the end of the day, so let's use a comma here, just here, and that's it. It is done right now. So this is the regex I provided for just checking whether that string that I'm getting, that is actually an email or not. And right now, if I don't provide any email from here, from my this side where I'm actually sending the body, so if I don't provide any email, rather I just provide Vipendra over here and just simply send, wait for a while, and it turns out that I encountered some errors or something. Well, let's stop it. Come on, how can I stop it right now? Okay, Control D. That is fine. Control D. What is wrong with this? Okay, let's write again npm run, not npm run dev. I'm not using JavaScript over here, rather fast API dev and main.py. Done it. Turns out I'm getting the error. Okay, the error is mainly because of what? They are simply saying that the regex that I have used, regex is removed, use pattern instead. Code getting the error for sure because of the regex that I have used over here, and that's a lot. I mean, so many errors are here on top of each other. So ultimately the regex that I'm using, that is wrong. So let me do one thing. Let me use this. Okay, I'll have to use R over here for making it a regex, right? So let's even do that. Just a sec. I hope it will fix it, but if it doesn't fix it, I'll take care of it. Let's just use R for making it regex. And right now, am I still getting the error? Let's try to write again. Regex is removed, use pattern instead. Pattern instead. That means this regex is not being used. Let's use some kind of let's use the same pattern that I have over here, and I don't know whether it's gonna be working or not, but why not? Let's give it a try too. If it works, that's great. Otherwise, I'll take care of it too. So I will be just removing this whole part from here, but ultimately this is also a regex. So come on, Control V and the comma. Let's see whether I'm gonna still get the error or not. Run it again. Okay, so ultimately regex is a pydantic error. They are simply saying that regex is removed, use pattern instead. The question is that how can I use the pattern? That's crazy. But the thing is that they are giving these many methods. You have const, you have greater than equals to and all. But okay, that's not required right now. They do provide regex, but that is removed. Okay, fine. What is the next thing that I can do? If regex is actually removed, then I have to use pattern. Yes sir, shorts are more viral than long video. You must try to create shorts. I Nowadays people don't see long videos. You must try with short. Don't worry about long videos or short videos. My goal is not to be a YouTuber actually. I just want to be a coder. Over here I'm online because I wanna learn in public so that I have my proof of work. So the videos that are actually getting recorded right now, they are gonna be proof of work for me, so that in future when I apply for jobs I can actually show them, okay, this is the proof that I have actually learned the skill. And even you can ask the questions and all. That is the main reason behind coming here. Baki subscribers and all, I'm happy to have you guys here. Doesn't really matter by the way. But thanks a lot for the suggestion. By the way, I am gonna be having field validation inside this user model. Username I have, then at that field validator username, I will be validating the username, and then inside this I can just simply validate it like this. I will be getting my CLS. This is by default by the way over here, and then I will be getting my value. Once I got the value, I will be just simply checking the things and all. If there's any error, I will be returning that, otherwise I will return the min value. That should be fine. Just below that I can have my field validator. Let me ask ChatGPT, what does this error mean that I am getting over here? Control Shift C. This is the last thing that I want to try. Once it works, then I will be switching to the next thing. But of course I will have to solve this error, right? I'll have to go through it. The error occurs because you are using Pydantic v2 where the regex parameter in field has been replaced with pattern. So update. Wow, just this much? You've got to be kidding me. Really? Amazing. Even I was getting the error over here. It simply said that, come on, at the bottom. It simply said that regex is removed, use pattern instead. I didn't get it because of course this is my first time using this, so I didn't really understand it. But let's use pattern over here, just like this, and now it should be working. And fast API, run it, and turns out it is working right now. Great. So what can I do? If I just simply send over here, they are simply saying that string pattern mismatch. String should match this particular pattern, but this is not matching. That's great. If I give it proper email @gmail.com, then it should be matching. Send it, and now I'm getting the result. So ultimately validation is actually happening the right way. Bye bye, take care, and keep up the good work. Hope to see you soon. Once this thing is done, after that that's it. I don't really need to worry about it. So this is how I'm actually gonna be getting the body. Never expected that getting body can be this much easy in Python. Wow, I mean, appreciate the fast API. They have done a great job. And just after that, as I'm getting that, then create your data model. I can create my data model by the way over here. That's what I'm doing. After that, I can even go through the things written here. Create a data model. Why not go through it? This much I've already gone through. And just after that, other variants. This is okay. I missed this particular thing at many places. Like I've been just simply skipping it. But this is just altogether another variant where I'm getting this kind of. There's gonna be union of string or none. By default, it was string or none like this. And now I can even create the union of it like this, and that's gonna be none. And similarly it's gonna be union of float and all. Yeah, we can use the union, and union will be imported from typing. It will be just like that. Fine. And then you declare your data, create your data model. Then you declare your data model as a class that inherits base class. Use standard Python types for all the attributes, just like this. API first and done. Other versions are gonna be like this. Fine. Okay, the same as when declaring query parameters. When a model attribute has a default value, the same as when declaring query parameters. When a model attribute has default value, it is not required. Otherwise it is required. Use none to make it just optional. So what is happening over here, that if it doesn't have any default value, then it is required. If it does have a default value, then it is not required, or you can directly make it optional. So the same as when declaring query parameters, when a model attribute has default value, it is not required, otherwise it is required. Use none to make it just optional. So this is required, and again, if it has any some default value, it is not gonna be required, and if it is none, that is definitely optional over here. Amazing, good to know that. For example, name, food description, this price, this as description and text are optional with the default value of none, the JSON's object would be valid, right? Even if we provide name and price, that's gonna be valid, that is fine. Declare it as a params to add it to your operation. One more thing I can do, to add it to your path operation, declare it the same way you declare the path and query parameters. Sorry, declare it as a parameter. Declare it as parameter. Class item name string this price this fine, and to add it to your path operation, declare it the same way. Okay, so it's simply saying that item is gonna be item. Just a sec. Declare its type as the model you created item. Not getting one thing fast API, that is fine. Declare it as a parameter. Declaring it as a parameter over here, fine, got that, got the answer. And then results with that Python type declaration, fast API will read the data of body of request as JSON, read the body of the request as JSON, that's right, convert the corresponding types if needed, validate the data. If the data is invalid, it will return a nice and clear here indicating exactly where and what was the incorrect data. Give you a received data in the parameter item, that is right, as you declared it in the function of the type item. You will also have all the editor support, completion, etc. for all of, okay, fine. General adjacent defines your model. Okay, fine. Okay, these are just gonna be extra things. Automatic docs is gonna be here. I'm not even worried about that. Editor support, they are gonna be giving the editor support and all. You also get the ear checks and all, that's fine. And after that, the previous screenshot were taken with Visual Studio PyCharm. This is the screenshot of the PyCharm tip. What happened, bro? It's just a fast API using Python. I'm trying to create the backend. It's as simple as that. If you use PyCharm as your editor, you can use the PyDentic PyCharm plugin. This improves the editor, auto completion, and blah blah blah. Use the model. This items, create item, dictionary. Okay, a model dump. What is this? What is the use of model dump? Model dump means it will actually create a file, right? Use inside of the function, you can access all the attributes of the model objects directly. Okay, so item dictionary is gonna be model dump. Now look, there are two things. There is something called model dumps and there is something called model loads. Model loads converts JavaScript into Python dictionary, and model dumps converts Python dictionaries into JavaScript string. But model dump does what? Model dump in Python. In Python, model dump is a method to specify two identical models used to convert a model instance into a standard Python dictionary. Think again. A method specified to identical models used to convert a model instance into a standard Python dictionary. This is the instance that I have. If I say dumped m.model.dumped, okay, so it is like you are getting your data, model dump will actually dump it in the dictionary format. Model load will actually load it in the string format or something, just like that. Mainly model dump is going to be used over here. So if I'm doing model dump over here, just a sec, if I'm actually doing model dump over here, so item dictionary, so item dictionary, so all the items that I actually got, I'm using model dump over here, so that whatever data I'm getting, because that data is being created because of the class only too, right? First of all, I'm getting the data from the client side, of course, then I'm using this particular class. So this is mainly used for parsing the things and all in a better way, and that is why I need to use model dump over here. That's amazing. And once I got that, then item.tax is not none. If tax is not none, then price with tax is gonna be type this item dictionary update, and remaining things are fine. Better versions are gonna be here. Okay, model dump is going to be used for that only. Let's even go through that again. So in Python, model dump is a method specific to Pydantic models used to convert a model instance into a standard Python dictionary. So it actually converts a model instance into a Python dictionary, as simple as that. And this item that I actually get over here, this is actually an instance of the method. Which method? This item method that I actually created over here, and that is why I need to dump it over here, and then it will be done. That simply means that if I want to make my code better, then I can do something like this, that I will be getting my user, and just user data, user dictionary is gonna be equals to user dot model dump. Just like this, I will be using this particular method. And by the way, user dictionary or user data, I can say user data, and user data of what? Control C, user data dot email and user data dot password. Just like this, I will be using it, and it should be working fine. Let's send it from here. Internal server error. Great job. What is the next thing? Internal server error. That means it's not running yet. Okay. Dictionary object has no attribute email. Okay. Come on. User data, email and password. I'm dumping it first of all. User, that is something that I'm actually getting from here. It has email and password. So why am I getting this particular error right now? Oh, Shivam, how are you, bro? Why are you crying? Aware yourself. What am I missing over here? It is simply saying that dict object has no attribute email. Interesting. So how can I actually access the data in that case? If I want to access the data, once I will be accessing it in this format only. So first of all, I got my item. Item does have the tag. So item.tag. So I will be getting that. So I can use dot notation over here. So what is the problem? Problem is something that I'm not getting. What's wrong with this over here? User, that's the class name, and user that I'm getting, I'm just simply using model.dump, and that's the same thing even happening over here. Model dump, and that's gonna be user data. I can even make it user dict and all, DICT. And I mean, name doesn't really matter, man. I mean, it will not play any role here. And then email is here. Even I have my email, and both of them are gonna be required. So if I just simply send it from here, it's simply saying that internal server error. That's fine. Let's do one thing. Let's run it again. Let's restart the server and see what happens. Right now it is running fine. If I just simply send the request, it is simply saying that user dictionary email. They are saying that has no attribute called email. Really? What's wrong with this now? By the way, this should be it. I mean, once I'm done with this, once I fix the error, then I will be calling it. But I need to fix the error before that. User is something that I'm already getting over here. This is a post request. That means I'm getting the user. That is fine. What is missing. Okay, what am I doing over here? First of all, I'm using model dump. Where is this model dump coming from? First of all, there's no model dump over here. That means it's being imported directly. This item that I'm actually getting, that's gonna be the instance of this base class that I have, base model. Then I'm getting the item. Once I got the item, model dot dump, just like this, and that is it. Let's do one thing. First of all, log it, print it, and then see what is the result that I'm actually getting over here. So kind of I think it is right, but it is not right. Print user, and let's see what I'm gonna be getting inside this. And this time, as I make the request, I should be getting the data over here, kind of really at the top. Turns out I'm not even getting that. Fine. Okay. Okay, dict object has no attribute. That's crazy. I mean, if that does not have the attribute and all, I'm gonna be stop returning from here. Okay, it's gonna be, sorry, it's gonna be user dict. First of all, let's make it yeah, that's gonna be user dict just here, and let's check the result. Return hi. And simply run it right now. I'm returning hi, and this is the data I'm getting, right? Email and password. I am getting the data, but the data is in which format? I think I need to parse the data if I'm not wrong, because I am getting the data, right? So if I even make it like this, that user dict.email, then will I be getting the error? Some kind of error. Email. Let's send the request again. Yeah, turns out I am getting that. How about if I use dot get and email, just like this? No, I'm not getting there. So good. Wow. Interesting. So ultimately I got the error that I cannot access them directly, but let's take the help of AI and see know more about it. One thing is clear: if I use user dict.get email, then I will be getting the email. That will be fine, but let's see. Give it to the AI as well, just here, and run it, and let's see whether your looks correct for fast API, but model.dump method properly serializes validated user to dictionary, and user dictionary email. It is saying that it is right. Auto serialization to JSON, that's fine. Never return passwords. Okay, I got that. I don't have to return the password and all. But the thing is that if it is actually right, then why am I getting this error? Because I am having over here. Control Shift C. Let's give it to these as well. And it is saying that pydantic to. Why is that so? The error occurs because user dump returns a dictionary and you are trying to access the dictionary values with the dot notation. Isn't that possible? Fix your endpoint. Now it is okay. So we can access the values like this, not with the dot notation. Really, if I can actually access it with this particular format, so why is this even pydantic? Like fast API's documentation doing that. Direct pydantic model access. User.email. Yeah, directly we can access them like this. So just a sec. Model, and this is how I can access them. So first of all, let me even check whether this actually works or not. So over here, what will I be doing? Over here, instead of making it like this, I will actually I'll be keeping it inside the parentheses and all, just like this, and I will be removing this from here. This should be fine, and same thing is gonna be happening over here. Okay, select it, keep it inside that. Okay, D is missing. Come on, this much should be fine. Let's try to write again, and I hope it's gonna be working fine this time. So let's simply send the request, and it is working. So which one is better way now? So fix your endpoint. That's great. I've done that. Even better solutions. Direct attribute access simplest. So I can access the values directly. Exclude a password for security. That's right. Response model production ready. The response model is gonna be user response, and response model user response. User response is this email string. Base model, I'm getting my user as well from here. Return test it. Okay, when do I need to use model dump? First thing is clear. It simply converts pydantic instance variable into variables data into simple Java Python dictionary. As simple as that. This model dump does this job. And when to use model dump? Always needed for these cases. Database storage, ORM expects dictionaries quarks. User model dump, user db, create a db model from validated input. Okay, external APIs and libraries. External API dot send a user model dump. Okay, file JSON storage with custom parsing. So data user model dump, exclude password and all. Yeah, that's also right. Logging or entry fix. As simple as that. Whenever you need to work with Python dictionaries, at that time you will have dump that. Just simple, not simple. Great. So unnecessary. Fast API handles this automatically, so we don't have to worry about it using with Fast API. We can just directly use it directly. We can directly use it directly. Wow, what an English! What an English! Never mind. Okay, that thing is done. So ultimately, kind of I've learned a lot, but this is not done yet. So this particular thing is done. By the way, I can use model dump over here, but that is just simply unnecessary. Request.body plus path parameters. You can declare. I hope it's about to be over here. You can declare path parameters and request body at the same time. Path parameters plus. Okay, that's right. I can do that. Fast API will recognize the function parameters that Fast API will recognize that the function parameters that match path parameters should be taken from the path, and that function parameters that are declared to be Pydantic models should be taken from the request body. Wow. So what am I doing over here? First of all, I'm getting the item ID. So over here I'm defining the item as well as the items, and once the items are defined, and that's it. One more thing, I'm destructuring it over here, and item model dump. First of all, I'm converting it into a dictionary, and then wow, it is amazing. Let me show exactly what is happening over here. First of all, I can get the user ID over here as well. So let's simply get the user ID, and just like this. And once you got the user ID, so even you can just specify over here that you will be getting the user, and apart from that thing you will be getting the user ID too. And as for the type of the user ID, that's actually gonna be integer. So let's make it integer right now. And at the end of the day, I wanna return everything. So what I'm gonna be returning, let's remove all these things from here, and I'm gonna be returning the user ID. So user ID is going to be returned just like this. Sorry, suffering from this sneezer's cold, you know. Okay, this is gonna be user ID, and then I want to return all the user data. The thing is that if I just return the user data like this, let's see how it's gonna be going on. By the way, user data cannot really be returned like this. Dictionary entries must contain key value pairs. Okay. The type of this user data, I need to check even the type of it. So let's even check what is the type of the user data. That is the instance of the user. That means should be the type of a class. So type print type of what? Type of user is something that I wanna print over here. Let's make a request. Done, not found, fine. Users, let's make it a /1 send. What is the problem with this? Come on. Okay, fine. So main.user. So this is the type of that. So main.user, fine. So ultimately this is not what I want if I'm doing it like this over here. So I can dump it right now. So user dot model dump, just like this, not model extra, just model dump, just like this. And let's try the type of it right now. I should be able to do that. Let's send the request from here. Request is sent right now, and I'm getting the type dictionary. So inside a dictionary I can only keep a dictionary. So by default that is the type of the class, this class, and that is why I need to dump it over here, and then I can destructure it as well. So by the way, not only dumping, if I just simply remove the type from here, I should be able to get the result of that too. Let's simply send the request again, and go here, send the request. I'm getting email this and this, that's fine. And what is the next thing that I can do? I wanna destructure that. For destructuring it, I can just simply remove it from here, and over here I wanna keep user dot model dump, but this will not destructure. So for destructuring I will have to use inside a dictionary. Can't I use that? I can say user dot this is one of the ways. Like you will create a user key, and inside that you will be keeping this particular object. If I just simply run it again, it's gonna be great. Send it, and turns out that I will face this error with this. And what is the error? Unhashable type user. Unhashable type user. They are unable to unhashable. They are unable to hash it. Okay, fine. So if I actually, they are unable to hash this, right? Because of course this is the data. Fine. So I can do one thing. Const, not const, just user details is gonna be equals to, or I think it should be just an object here. Let's try to do this right now. It should be working fine. And if I try to run it right now, send it, and turns out yeah, it is working. And I'm returning the data user ID from here, and the remaining data is also being returned. So user ID, and then apart from that thing I have my user object inside this. I don't want it like this, rather I want to destructure this over there. So if I want to destructure this, in that case I can simply say that, bro, do one thing. I don't want this, rather I want to destructure it like this, just as simple as that. If I just run it again, send the request, and then I will be getting my response like this. Wow, great stuff. And this is how we learn the things. What is the next thing that is remaining? I wanted to give this just half an hour, but it's been more than 1 hour. Can't really do anything. Request body with pass. Okay, I will be having more things. Okay, last thing is actually remaining. So they are simply saying that you can actually have a request body plus path plus query parameters. That's fine. You can also actually declare all these things. That's fine. So what am I doing over here? This is the main body that I'm gonna be getting. I have my path parameters, and not only that, I can actually have my query parameters. Inside this I have item ID, then I have item, then I can have some of the query parameters, and done. And function parameters will be recognized as follows. If the path parameter is also declared in the path, it will be used as a path parameter. If the path parameter is of a singular type like int, float, and string, it will be interpreted as a query parameter. If the path parameter is a singular type like int, float, string, bool, it will be interpreted as query parameter. If the path parameter is declared to be the type of the pydantic model, it will be interpreted as a request body. Hang on. The function parameters will be recognized as follows. If the parameter is also declared in the path, it will be used as a path parameter, right? If the parameter is of singular type like int, this, it will be interpreted as query parameters. That is right. If the parameter is declared to be of the type of pydantic model, it will be interpreted as body. It's just simple that if you are mentioning the name over here, it will be a path parameter. If you are not mentioning the name over here, it will be a query parameter. And if you are mentioning the type over here inside this base model, it will be a body field. Fast API will know that the value of a queue is not required because the default value is none. The string and none or union string is not used by fast API. The string this or non Python 3 or union is Python 3.9+ is not used by fast API to determine the value is not required. It will is not used. It will know it's not required because it has a default value of none. Okay, so default value none mainly makes sure that it is not required, but adding the type annotation will allow your editor to give you better support in detect without pydantic. If you don't want to use pydantic models, you can also use body parameters to see the docs for the body. Yeah, I'm gonna be going with the pydantic that thing for now. It's good to explore this thing. As for now, I will be just getting this thing done. Not only that, so far I've been getting this much, and I will be getting my query parameter as well. Query is gonna be just string over here, and that is or that can be none, or that can be union. Okay, again I will be getting it from typing, import union. Once I actually got union, in that case union is gonna be equals to what? It can actually be string or it can be none, and by default I will be giving it a value that will be null. That means it will actually be optional, and once it is actually optional, then I will be getting this much. Not only that, at the end of the day I will be getting my query, not like this actually. Let's make it result is gonna be this. Then I'll be saying that if query actually exists, in that case result dot update, I will be just simply updating it directly, and inside this I'll just simply say that query is going to be equals to what? Query is going to be equals to the query that I'm actually getting from here. And once all these things are actually done, then simply return result from here. So that's it. Let's try it out right now. And users one body I'm already providing. This is the ID. That's fine. User ID in this. I can even provide it the query parameters just like this, and query is gonna be equals to 1 or my query. Send it, and now I'm getting my query as well over here. That's fine. This is how I can just simply go ahead, and lastly I can just simply copy and paste the things. Okay, done. So I learned about body as well, how you can actually get the body. Not only that, I learned about field validation and many things I learned today. Amazing, good job. The thing is that I revised the previous things, because as I start working on them, I do need to revise the previous things in order to be good at them, and that's the chance that I got today. That's amazing. And fast API, inside this fast API section I will be just pasting the code over here. By the way, this code has been all about body related stuff, so body, and there has been some extra things, but overall the main focus has been on the body and all. And over here the main focus has been on the query parameters and then the remaining things. Okay, so far we have learned quite a lot. We know how to get the path parameters, we know how to get the query parameters, we know how to get the body. So overall basic server we have already created. Now we need to know about the what is the next thing that's gonna be there. Let's check that thing out. Okay, the next thing is gonna be actually the query parameters and string validation, path parameters and numeric validation, query parameters, body, fields, nested models, cookie. Then I will be learning about cookie, header and all, and then form data, how you can get the data from the form directly. Using React I can directly send the data, so don't even need to worry about that. But yeah, then I will be learning about middleware and all. So this is how it will be just going on. So yeah, even if I'm giving just 1 hour daily, because this is not the primary thing that needs to be done as quickly as possible. This is the main focus is not on that. So whenever I will be getting time, I will keep learning like this. Overall, even I have the basic knowledge. So plus point, we know how we can actually create a server using Python, and few things are remaining. I got the data, then middleware is remaining, and apart from middleware nothing else. I mean, most of the things are already done. Then I need to learn about cookie and all, so it will be okay. Fine. It's not like we haven't learned anything. We have learned much, like more than I even expected from myself today. That's amazing. This is just simply note of mine where I am just simply saving everything. And lastly, I'm gonna be going with GenAI stuff. Let me take a break for 3 minutes or something. I'll be coming back very soon, or let me take a break for 5 minutes. What should I be doing? Yeah, I'm gonna be taking a break for just for 5 minutes. After that I'll be back, and I will learn the things for half an hour more, and after that I will just simply sleep. As simple as that. So yeah, let's take a break for just for 5 minutes, and after that I'll be back. Even maybe before that I may have, let's take a break for 3 minutes only. Just a sec. Come on, why have you started? I'll be back just after 3 minutes. Until then, yeah, keep it up. Alright everybody, let's continue from here on. And the thing is that right now I will be focusing on learning about the things about GenAI. I will be focusing on learning the things about GenAI. So in that case, I will simply not be able to speak it at all. So sorry for that. I will be playing the music in the background. I will be just simply learning the stuff. You may watch or you may just do your work, whatever suits you. But yeah, now it's time to start learning the new stuff. See you soon at the end of the live. Alright everybody, actually that was it for now. I'm feeling sleepy, so I'm gonna be sleeping right now. That's enough. From tomorrow onwards, the main focus is actually going to be on GenAI stuff. So first of all, I will mainly focus on the GenAI stuff, and in the remaining time, I will learn about the stuff of Fast API and all. But yeah, for now, I'm kind of feeling sleepy, so I'm better just go and sleep. I'm gonna be catching up tomorrow, and let's get the things done there only. Okay, that was it. Take care, good night, and see you soon.